So now that we have NPS set up, we can start to look at configuring it. And notice we're selected here on our NPS in parentheses local. Like anything else, this uses the MMC. And like anything else that uses the MMC, we can connect to remote servers and manage them as well. But this shows we're connected to our local computer. All right, so we have three things here. We've got our standard configuration, our advanced configuration, and our templates configuration. Now, our advanced configuration is where we manage Radius clients, accounting, and network policies individually, which you'll see all right here. That's part of our advanced configuration. For our templates, we can create templates for all of these policies and settings and then be able to share those with other NPS servers. So the idea there is to ease the deployment of NPS when you've got fairly good sized NPS configuration to do. If you're working with a single NPS server, we also have this option right here, standard configuration, where we can configure radius for 802.11 wireless or wired connections, radius for dial-up or VPN connections. And so you select the one you want and you click here, and this will give you the a wizard that will walk you through it. So just for fun, we can say we want to secure wireless connections. We can give it another name, or we can go with the default name. Click next, and we could set up our Radius clients. And remember, this here defines for us Radius clients are not our network access servers, such as authenticating switches, wireless access points. They're not the client computers. So we would define the Radius client. Which clients are going to take advantage of this. So since we're doing 802.11 for wireless switches or wireless access points, and we're specifically doing switches, we would put in the IP address of our switches. Now we can use an existing template, or we can set a friendly name. I'm not actually going to save this, but we'll walk through it real quick. Office switch. I can set an IP address for my office switch, 192.168.4.6. I can use a shared secret using a template, or I can generate a shared secret. Now, the generate one is going to give me an incredibly long, complex shared secret password, which would be very secure, but I'm also going to have to put that on my switches. So I can also manually create one. Let me come back here to generate, clear that, and then go over to manual. And then I can put in, and it should be a long, complex password. I'm not going to do one. I'm going to do a real quick and easy one, which don't do when you're doing this in production. And hit OK. And then I would add all of my switches here that we're going to be using this. And I'll click Next. And then we'll set the type of access. Are we going to use smart card or other certificate? Are we going to use password protected? Are we going to use MS Chat v2? So whatever it is, you select the authentication that you're going to be using. This will allow you to configure it. Number of authentication retries. Allow the client to change password after it is expired. Yes or no. Click Next. And then which groups? So users that are members of selected group or groups will be allowed or denied access based on this policy. So we'd add our group, and I'm going to go ahead and add. We'll do domain admins here just because it's going to be fast and easy. But I could choose, domain users or specific groups that are going to be subject to this policy as well. And this might take a little bit because my domain controller is being very occupied at the moment. But while it thinks its way through that, we are basically just walking through a wizard that builds the configuration for us. Now, if we're going with a relatively standard, relatively easy configuration, that works great. If we're wanting something more complex, so something involving multiple servers, something involving proxies, involving a whole bunch of different policies, hey, there we go. Then we might want to do a more complex configuration. Let's go ahead and click Next. We can also configure traffic controls. So if your Radius clients support the assignment of traffic controls, then you can use that. We're not going to worry about that. And then when we're done, we just click Finish. And so this shows us what we've done. We've created a Radius client. We've created a connection request policy and a network policy. And then we click Finish, and that saves our policies for us. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel it because I don't want to save that. But you'll see here we have two different of these wizards that we can use to configure NPS in a relatively simple, straightforward configuration. Now, for your advanced configuration, if you want more detail, you can come down here and you can configure it here, or you can use these links over here. But we're going to dive into that in our next video.